British Columbia is inviting only high-impact, high-salary profiles. IEC workers can now renew permits without leaving the country, working holiday spots are disappearing at record speed, and Manitoba is choosing candidates directly through employers while student numbers drop by nearly 60%. Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Canada Immigration. Latest Columbia PNP draws 2026 British Columbia invitations to apply. British Columbia has officially launched its first British Columbia PNP draw of 2026, and the numbers are sending a strong signal to skilled workers aiming for Canadian permanent residence. On February 4, 2026, the province issued 429 invitations to apply, marking a major and optimistic start after a challenging 2025. This draw was sharply targeted at high economic impact candidates. Out of the total, 206 invitations went to applicants with high-wage job offers, while the remaining 223 were issued to top-scoring profiles with a minimum score of 138 in the Skills Immigration Registration System. The wage focus is crucial. British Columbia is now prioritizing talent that can future-proof the labor market, match inflation, and drive productivity, especially in sectors like tech, clean energy, and life sciences. Another important update is the 2026 provincial nomination allocation of 5,254 spots, which is higher than the initial 2025 quota but still below what the province actually needs, keeping competition intense. For candidates, the message is clear: meeting basic eligibility is no longer enough. Higher salaries, strong scores, and alignment with provincial priorities now define selection chances. Once invited, applications move fast, often within weeks. International Experience Canada. IRCC extends policy for International Experience Canada. IRCC extends policy for International Experience Canada. Get your work permit from within Canada. Canada has delivered a major relief for young foreign workers already inside the country. Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada has extended the special policy that allows International Experience Canada participants to get their new work permits without leaving Canada, and this change is now valid until further notice. Earlier, thousands of IEC workers were forced to travel abroad or rush to the US border just to activate a new permit. But after the government banned flagpolling in December 2024, that option disappeared, creating job disruptions and extra costs for workers. Under the extended policy, eligible candidates can now apply from within Canada and receive their new work permit by mail, saving both time and money. However, there are strict conditions. Applicants must be physically present in Canada, hold a valid current IEC work permit, and already have their letter of introduction for the next participation. This update is especially important for working holiday, young professionals, and international co-op participants, as it allows them to continue working legally without interrupting their employment. New Canada Working Holiday Visa Draw 2026 latest update. Canada has officially kicked off the 2026 International Experience Canada season, and the working holiday visa draws are already moving at a rapid pace. In the latest update, over 30,000 invitations to apply have been issued out of a total quota of 45,648, which means thousands of spots are still open, but the competition is intensifying fast. At the moment, more than 28,000 candidates are in the pool, making this one of the quickest and most competitive IEC seasons in recent years. For young travelers and early career professionals, this visa remains one of the fastest pathways to work in Canada, because it offers an open work permit, no LMIA, and no job offer required. The 2026 pools opened in December, with invitation rounds starting in January and continuing until quotas are filled, so early profile submission is becoming a decisive advantage. This program is open to youth from select partner countries, typically aged 18 to 30 or 35, allowing them to live and work in Canada for up to 2 years while gaining global experience. Manitoba invites skilled workers in Canada and abroad, in first draw of the month. Manitoba has kicked off its first draw of the month with a focused invitation round under the Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program, issuing 29 letters of advice to apply to skilled workers both inside Canada and overseas. This draw, held on February 12, 2026, targeted candidates through strategic recruitment initiatives designed to directly address labor shortages across the province. The invitations were carefully distributed: 8 through employer services, 14 to the Francophone community, 3 for regional communities, 1 for ethno-cultural groups, and 3 under the temporary public policy that supports work permits for prospective nominees. Notably, 6 candidates already had valid express entry profiles, putting them in a strong position for faster permanent residence through the additional 600 CRS points that come with a provincial nomination. These draws are not random, they are driven by employer demand. Candidates are typically selected after exploratory visits or international recruitment missions, followed by an interview with immigration officials. To qualify, applicants usually need post-secondary education, at least 2 years of recent work experience, and minimum language scores of CLB 4 or 5 depending on the occupation. Canada is witnessing a historic cooling in foreign student arrivals, with monthly entries now less than half of last year's levels. Canada's appeal as the world's leading study destination is facing a sharp reality check. In 2025, international student inflows dropped by nearly 60%, with around 1.57 lakh fewer arrivals compared to the previous year, a fall directly linked to the government's aggressive immigration reset. The new strategy is clear: control population pressure, ease the housing crisis, and bring temporary migration to sustainable levels. The biggest policy shifts include a national cap on study permits, compulsory provincial attestation letters, stricter proof of funds requirements, and tighter post-study work eligibility. While these measures aim to protect infrastructure and public services, they have significantly reduced approvals and slowed down peak intake seasons that universities once relied on. The impact is now visible across campuses. Institutions dependent on international tuition are facing financial strain, course intakes are being trimmed, and future planning has become uncertain. Meanwhile, students are recalibrating their choices, looking toward countries in Europe and Asia where visa rules are more stable and processing is faster. Canada is not losing its academic prestige, but the pathway has transformed. What was once a high-volume, accessible route is now selective, policy-driven, and intensely competitive for global aspirants. That is all for today, in this video. Please hit like and subscribe for an upcoming video. See you later. Till then, take care.